Hi, my name is Jeff Harley, and I will be refuting Jonathan's inherency, significance, and solvency claims, as well as talking about workability of this proposition. First issue that Jonathan brought to our attention is the fact that there are legal immigrants in this country, and there's a problem of the workers, these illegal workers, being mistreated in their jobs, and that this is caused because the immigrants do not have legal status. He specifically mentioned that they don't have rights to employment benefits like overtime and sick leave and vacation and all of those things. The bottom line is the reason that the illegal immigrants do not have these rights is because they do not have the right to work in the United States, hence the title illegal immigrant, undocumented worker. There's a lot of terms. I'd like to present the fact that legalizing the immigrants would solve the problem of, could solve the problem of their improving working conditions, but not necessarily. There is an example in going back to the issue of illegality, oftentimes people talk about illegal immigration as just one crime, but actually it typically involves a chain of crimes. I have a quote here from Ronald Mortensen, who's a former U.S. Foreign Service officer. He says, just like the Bush administration, the Obama administration's legislation on amnesty will grant illegal aliens amnesty from serious job-related felonies, including document fraud, perjury on I-9 forms, and even identity theft. If you guys are not aware, oftentimes illegal immigrants will do identity fraud to have basically a fake identity or steal someone's identity in order to be employed legally. And as long as they're employed legally, which is a big portion of the undocumented workers using these fake IDs, they're actually able to work in a normal job. People claim that they work at fast food restaurants and at factories and stuff, but they aren't necessarily all employed under the table, which is the kind of what Jonathan was focusing on, that all of these people are being mistreated because they don't have a legal right to work here. Talking about the significance claim, he basically says the reason that there's problems in the workplace is because they don't have legal status. I think more of the problem is that we're not enforcing the current laws that we have. People have rights in this country, whether they're here legally or not. We can't throw people in jail and leave them there for the rest of their lives. There's a legal process. If they were caught for illegally immigrating, they would be taken to court and charged with a crime, and they would be able to provide evidence to support their defense. So the idea that there's like this bunch of employers that are abusing people in the back of their stores and taking advantage of people, I don't think is warranted. The other thing is that the undocumented workers have a choice to come here. They come, millions and millions have come here. They estimate the ICE, the Customs Enforcement, estimates about 11 to 12 million illegal immigrants in the United States currently, and most of those have come here, voluntarily by crossing the border or letting their visas expire. So the idea that they're kind of stuck in a situation that they can't get out of, they have a bad employment situation. They have the option to go back to their country. They're still citizens of their own countries, and deal with the situations there. But the point is that these people choose to be here, and there's obvious reasons America's seen as a land of opportunity, and there's a lot of good things about America, and that a lot of people want to have access to that. But Jonathan also doesn't talk about the fact that granting amnesty to illegal people would prevent, basically, there's certain quotas for immigration in the United States, and those people who try to come here legally, who apply for visas or who apply for residency permits and want to become citizens, they're waiting and waiting and waiting to come in, where other people are just breaking the law and coming in, and it doesn't make sense, or it isn't fair to give those people priority just because they've broken the law for the last 5 years. Let's see. The other thing is that over the last year, because of the economic crisis, we've actually seen a decrease in the illegal immigrant population. Let me give you a quote here from Dr. Camarota. He's the Director of Research for the Center of Immigration Studies. It is sometimes argued that illegal immigrants are so permanently attached to their lives in the United States that they would never return to their home countries. The finding of this report, which was titled Shifting Tide, Recent Trends in Illegal Immigration from November 2009, the report contradicts that view. Monthly data collected by the Census Bureau shows significant drop in the number of less educated young Hispanic immigrants in the country, which they correlate to illegal immigrants. Prior research indicates that more than 3/4 of these individuals are illegal aliens. The fall in this population implies that total illegal immigrant population has declined almost 14% from its peak in July 2007. So because of the declining market and also the raising unemployment rate, they're basically being driven out because they can't find work. And I think if they could find work, even if they weren't getting paid the same wages as a normal worker would, they would do it. He also talks about these people doing jobs that Americans don't want. Right now we have a big problem with unemployment. The current unemployment rate for the last reported was 9.4% from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. So that's 9.4% of legal residents in the U.S. that don't have a job. They estimate it's slightly higher for illegal immigrants. Basically, creating this amnesty would right away give those people legal status to work and would basically increase the unemployment rate to a huge percentage, because now people who are here legally, whether they're citizens or whether they're legal residents, they have to compete in a job market against people who were here illegally, who broke the law, and that will just create a lot more unemployment overall for legal residents. And last but not least, Jonathan talked about the costs, basically improving the U.S. economy. There's a lot of things, social services that they use, and if we gave these immigrants legal status, they'd be able to utilize a lot more social services, which would actually increase the costs quite a bit in terms of health care, education, in the prisons. We're already spending lots of money in the prisons on illegal immigration, so that's it for my first speech.